Charleston White.
Charleston White was the funniest in the game, man.
He is truly that.
Do you think he has so he gave me credit because at one time I was like watching him like, yo, bro.
One of the most compelling communicators I've ever heard in my life. It is impossible to see a clip with him when you're scrolling and not stop and wait for the whole thing. There are very few human beings that can stop a scroll.
Do you respect him as a comedian?
He's not a comedian.
He's not a stand-up.
Not yet, but he's hilarious.
He's trying.
Maybe he's on stage. I haven't seen.
Would you have him on here?
Yeah, I think we would. Before he said this most recent thing, no.
He charges.
No. Hey, listen.
Before he
I'll
said
bring him on here with y'all.
Before he said I mean, if you guys came on, that'd be amazing. Yes, let's do it. But before he said this most recent thing, I'd be like, I don't know, because he had said some very
the duality about him is ridiculous.
Then he recently came out, and I think
Did you watch the Cam Newton one?
It was the Cam Newton one.
Fucking amazing, right?
And he was like, listen, I did all this community work. I've been working with these different people. I've been trying to change laws. Nobody took me seriously. I came out and I played this ignorant character, and all of a sudden I became the biggest thing on the internet. So I'm just milking that. That's the only way to communicate to you guys. And now that he said that, I go, okay, I can look at all these horrendous things that you've said that I wouldn't want to platform, and I can go, oh, that's a character that you're playing.
You could do that. I was trying to do a comedy show with him out here, and he was saying some stuff about some Asian people. And
but those are the things that I'm like, if he's actually
do the act at the time, he said some wild shit. I think like right now you would have no problem doing that.
I don't know if in New York City, I'll probably go down south there. Like, because I'm gonna be honest with you, like even when, talking about like just being controversial shit, even when I was having a show out here, man, I had to have some conversations with some of the venue owners and certain people that I was like, these aren't even things that people talk about, but they were concerned about even me.
Yeah.
So like Charleston White, I'm like, well, I mean, down south, unilaterally, they don't give two fucks.
Yeah, but you stepped on stage in New York and you had people pressing you. Like, that was a thing where it's like, establishments need to consider when you go on stage.
But it wouldn't be that. So what you're talking about, I went on, somebody invited me out, so this is back on Fig guys and the Fig Community guys. They invited me out to a show. Again, it was a show with a bunch of gangster dudes on it. Obviously, like, a guy like me who touts like, yo, listen, you do something to me, I'm going to call the police. They didn't like too much, so they started heckling me a little bit. I loved it, you know what I mean? Because I really love live shit. So,
but an establishment doesn't love that. So if you are drawing that type of engagement, they're not going to want you to be on stage and you draw that type of engagement.
Okay, granted. But what I'm trying to say is that's not the normal engagement because that wasn't my crowd. So, like, it's not that if I threw an event, because I did an event before, I did it in Jersey, it was the most...
But your event is different than a Charleston event.
No. What he's talking about is, imagine you go out...
No, I know his situation.
Imagine you come out to my show, right? And my show thinks you're racist. And they're like, fuck Andrew Schulz.
Yeah.
If you threw an event and it was your crowd, they're not going to say, fuck Andrew Schulz. They're going to be like, yo, that's our guy. So that's kind of what happened there.
What I'm saying is if you threw the Charleston event, the venue might be concerned that there are people that are upset at Charleston. But again,
that's only New York, though, I think.
Fair enough. I just think he's such a compelling communicator. And then if this is all a character by design, like if he sat in a room somewhere and he was like, how do I get my message out better? Okay, let me try to do this. I'm fascinated at that. If I sit down with Blueface and Blueface goes, yeah, listen, I just kind of like assessed the market. I assessed what I could do. And I thought, oh, wow, I'm actually really good at creating these storylines and creating drama and chaos within this relationship dynamic that I'm pretty good at. These girls I've talked to, they're kind of on board with it. We're going to light the internet on fire. I want to hear that behind the scenes. I want to hear. Now, is he willing to come out and say that while it's happening? Maybe not. But maybe a few years from now. I don't think
none of these people are that much in control.
Fair enough.
Even Charleston White.
For me, so you don't think Charleston did this on purpose?
I'm not saying he didn't do it on purpose, but I know Charleston, and he's the person where when he crossed the lines, it's because of ego and emotion. And yes, he does have a general, like, hey, this is the angle I want to approach it at, but
Yeah.
it's not like some like maniacal plan. Like when it comes across perfectly, like for example, he called me after, that did millions of views with him in Cam Newton. He said, that should have been me and you. He's like, you challenged me in that way where it'll bring out that side of me. But when he's being challenged by these gangbangers, you know what he tells them? Yo, run up on me, I'll kill you. That's his thing. It's not like some really like carefully like, no, I have this all in control. It's like, no, I'm kind of going through this and I'm taking it as it is. And, hopefully it kind of works out good at the right moment. Like, for example,
I feel like both of y'all navigate that way. Like, you kind of call motherfuckers out who sometimes are really about that life. And it's like,
yeah, no. So one thing is a call out. You won't hear like, and I tell Charleston this. Don't say things against large groups of people when you're offended by one person. You're offended by somebody who's Asian. Don't diss all Asian people, right?
Just that guy.
Yeah, right.
Because it was him and China Mac.
Yeah,
Right?
it's like it's this that one guy, right? Now with me,
And China Mac gonna want to handle that.
yeah. Now with me, and I think with Charleston and maybe a few people in that space, it's like, yeah, like you're not gonna, like especially the place I'm at now, you're not gonna punk me into like fearing you type of stuff. It's like, dog, like for example, like my song, like I'm like, bro, nobody's scared of you. You know what I mean? And obviously maybe other people are looking at it like, well, this is like encourage. No, nobody's scared of you. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna continue to stand on that.